Bam. There we go. All right, guys, you know what's coming soon? I'm very excited. EXPCon. I don't know if you guys know, but EXPCon's coming. So, for those of you, I'm trying to like get it onto this. So, for those of you here in EXP, if you're going to EXPCon, I'm just letting you know. Um, Saturday, October 18th, we start on the morning of the 19th. But like that evening, right around like the convention center and all the hotels, we're just gonna find a place to meet because I think everybody's gonna kind of be in. Either they're gonna be jet lagged or they're not gonna know what to do. You could go out, you could go to partying still after that because it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. But we're gonna put something together for us around there if you guys want to meet and greet. Just letting you know. And when I say we, my friend Amy and I. So Amy and I are out of here. If there's other agents that are in here in for like between Palm Beach to Miami, let us know because we're going to put something together. Okay. So just kind of mark your calendars and to let you guys know. All right. Next week's guest. Okay. I am very, 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 very excited because Michael is a very good friend of mine. He's called the cowboy marketing genius. He's called the cowboy marketing, like his business is called cowboy marketing something or another. And by the way, all he does is assisted living communities. That's all he knows his entire career. So he'll tell you the history of who he is and how in bed he is with the assisted living communities across the United States. If there is one person in this industry of assisted living communities that knows everything and anything from start to finish, it's this boy. He's out of Texas. However, fascinating enough, but he travels all over. And basically, he is hired to come in when senior living communities are going down, or if something's happening, or if a new company's coming in, they hire him to do the whole strategic everything. When I say everything, I mean from staffing to the inner workings of the community, to the way the residents are being dealt with, to the services that are being provided into the community, to the way that they are marketing and connecting in your communities. And when you listen to what he's done over his career, it's fascinating. He oversaw probably one of the largest assisted living communities in the United States for most of his career. That's how he got started. But again, to me, if you guys don't know, but all of us are in this type of an industry because we've all been affected in some way. And Michael's one of those as well. So it's great. So when it comes to leading the senior living communities, as far as how much he's made on the portfolio side, that's just in the last 15 years. Or I'm not sorry, not just in the last 15 years. That's just in the last 2 years. But in the last 15 years, it's crazy because he worked for a massive company
Sa'yo, gano'n.
and now
Tapos
he's on his
sabihin mo,
own.
nagbaba na ng interest
Oh,
rate, 'di ba?
somebody's
Meron
on.
pa sa
If you could mute
September
yourself,
17,
somebody.
'di ba?
Anybody? Somebody muting themselves? Thank you. All right. So he is going to talk about how to connect with assisted living communities. He's going to talk about how to market directly with assisted living communities and what to look for in assisted living communities. Now, when I tell you and I don't mean just assisted living communities, we're talking memory care. We're talking, not active, forgive me. We're talking memory care. We're talking all portions of it. Step up, all of it. He's done it all from the smallest to the largest. He knows how to deal with very large scale communities, extremely large. So he's a great guy that I'm bringing in. He's the guy that's you guys can bounce all your questions off of. And if I don't see him in here today, but if, who is it that always asks the questions? Oh my God, why am I blanking out?
It's Eric.
Eric, and oh, yes, and Hilaire, both of them. You guys bring all those questions. Every question that you have about even the courses that you took, the course that we just took, ask him. Because I'm telling you, that man's got the answers to what we're going to need. I've learned so much from him. Anyways, I'm gonna stop right there. Just let you guys know that that's our guest. You guys can go connect with him on LinkedIn. But his background is fascinating. All righty, guys. I don't know why why it's going double, but we're just gonna ah okay. Well, in the bottom, you're gonna get ooh, ooh, ooh. In the chat box, I did put, if you got in here earlier, a PDF of this. If not, one of the girls who was in here earlier, if you guys can go ahead and stick the PDF for those that came in late. I have kind of done this, but I haven't really honed in. I kind of gave you an overview. So, last week I met with oh my God, I'm totally blanking again. My brain's having a little brain fart, excuse me. I met with Amy. Amy's a broker here, or an associate broker here in Fort Lauderdale. And she and I were sitting down. She's got a table at a fair. She said to me, I don't know what to do at this fair. And I go, oh my God, it's so easy. What do you mean? And she goes, well, I was thinking of putting flyers. I go, nobody wants a flyer. They're not going to take it. How many of you, just put in the chat box, have gotten flyers at fairs and you just trash it? Pretty much all of us, right? So I said, why would you do that? Why waste money? I have a better idea for you. Why don't you cross market with a local restaurant in the community, or a business or whatever that you can do that you know is going to be senior focused and people are going to want to go to? And the reason why I say that is because the postcard that you're going to put your information on, checklist, like if, oh, free aging in place checklist, or remember I tell you about those freebies? This is when you would use that as like, hey, come on, check me out. But on the front of it, I said, hey, this is what you're going to do. And I sent her, I wish I had it, but I was looking in my thing. But I sent her information on it and I said, hey, this is what I did. And one side, I put all my information, a free checklist, resources, guides, because everybody loves free resources, guides, checklists, free, free senior activities. That type of lingo is high SEO. We've gone through this. If you haven't, we'll go through it again eventually. But high SEO, piques my interest. I like that. And what you just said to me. So, why is this going to work in your community? By cross marketing yourself. Well, first of all, I'm going to get a card. Your stuff with all the free guides, that's cool. But guess what? On the back side of that card, I'm going to have my local restaurant that I'm really good friends with, that I already know, and I'm going to say to that person, "Hey, by the way, uh, do you have any senior specials? Like, if you don't, is there a certain time you want senior specials that could bring in people during that time? Maybe it could be a 4 to 6 time, between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. where they have a lull in the restaurant. Maybe they could do a free dessert if they come in with the postcard. I say that because if you hold on to this postcard, that's like your golden ticket for the freebie. That freebie is a free dessert. That freebie, maybe it's not a freebie, by the way. Maybe it's 20% discount or 10% discount. Or maybe it's, hey, come in with this card and you can, blah, 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 between 4 and 6 p.m. It is a local restaurant. They already know the restaurant. And they're like, oh my God, how cool is that? Well, guess what? You're already good friends with the person. That just tied you, not, I mean, I'm holding up something completely different, but that just tied you to that restaurant where people might see you now. Not only are they going to see you, but oh my God, they're going to keep this card. Yes, free checklists and aging in place and all those key words, the SEO, oh my God words. But I want this because this is the freebie or this is the percentage off. I'm going to now keep the card. How many of you would you now keep the card? Most of you probably would, right? Just give me a thumbs up. I would love to see how many of you would actually keep a card if it had an incentive on one side of it. Yeah. Thank you, Rochelle. I love that. But yeah, true, right? No different. That's why that type of branding would work. But guess what? How about having them help you offset the costs of printing or of doing part of that? Because that's exactly what she just did. She was able to now offset it. Now, the card that she made with all of her information and with the free resources and the checklist, and by the way, she has also a Facebook page. She's got a Facebook page. So it's a group, not a page, sorry, it's a group. And the group is just senior services, anything. It's just community talk about seniors. Now you just don't social media with your community, you know? You are only the admin on the group, but you're all about aging and senior, you know, just think about seniors in Fort Lauderdale, you know, your guide to aging safely. Here's what I'm going to tell all of you. So you guys know what's coming. Um, about 5 years ago, I met a woman. Her name is Trisha Torrey. Trisha's very well known um, in the patient advocacy like area. I met her. She said, "Hey, you know, I was thinking of starting this thing. What do you think?" I was like, "Oh my God, I have to be a part of it." She and I are now business partners, and we are launching Age Smart 411. These are little things that resources that people are going to need, but we're doing it more on a bigger national level. But the point of this is that it's needed. And I have been working as like when people ask me, what are you? And I said, oh, I'm like a matchmaker for aging services. Because that's how I kind of feel, you know, when it comes to the aging demographics. But why? Because I brand myself in my community with others that are like-minded like me. Restaurants. And I'm going to give you guys in this PDF, we'll go over stuff, by the way. I am very big on the who, what, where, when, why, how information. That's just who I am. I'd like to break it down. I am a teacher by nature, and I taught in, you know, elementary school setting. So the who, what, where, when, how, why resonates with me. But it also resonates with the rest of the demographics that's 55 and over, not the younger demographics. It's interesting. So when I talk to you guys, I always talk about why this is going to work for your branding, who to identify as potential local partners. Think about the who. Okay. You ultimately are looking for people that the 55 demographic wants to come to, but ideally, you're not looking for competitors. You're looking for shared customer experiences and services that are going to overlap. Does that make sense? Okay. So now and let's talk about, oh God, I don't know why it's doing this, but it's in a PDF. But anyway, what are you going to start creating? And I'm going to get into the cheat sheets. Don't worry. And I'm going to go into like lots of information after this. But let's talk about the what. What are you trying to create for yourself? I'll tell you, joint promotions that are going to build you and your friends that own the restaurants, that own, trust me, it's coming, and own all the other places. You are going to start brand building. You're going to deepen that trust in your community. Hey, This restaurant, the owner of this restaurant, they know me. They could vouch for me. Remember, this isn't about sales. This is about serving with your hand up and connecting rather than serving with your hand out about getting a sale out of this. So you already need to think about shared customer experiences and the services and how they overlap. Who are you going to partner with? Remember, like, know, and trust. If you don't like, know, trust them, don't bother. But if they're in your life and your work and you're giving them your business, chances are you like them. No, you already like them. All right, the what to create. You want to create a connection in your community, each and every one of us, that's going to stand out. You want to brand build yourself as the aging specialist who's so connected. Oh, you need 55 discounts or you need senior discounts? I got you. These are the places for senior discounts. Oh, the senior community, they got bingo. I'm actually hosting bingo on blah, blah, blah. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about after, okay? But the point is that those joint promotions that you have with the restaurant, the that, they're coming right back to you. They're gonna be like, oh, no problem. Here you go. Here's a person that was asking about this. And I said, oh, you're the person to talk to about that. Aging. Oh, do you know somebody that could do this for me? Oh, I've got a home health care company, no problem. Oh, do you have a trust attorney? No problem, because there might be people that don't have trust attorneys. It's a lot of people out there don't. You'd be surprised. However, if you can give them three names of people that you actually like, there you go. And now you've partnered not only the restaurant owner or whatever local business, but you're like, oh yeah, he works here and there. Oh, I know exactly who and they might say, oh, I know exactly who that guy is. I didn't know he was a trust attorney. It's amazing at the dots that you connect. Have you guys ever heard of the Kevin Bacon experience? Is it Kevin Bacon experience where it's like 7 degrees of no, somebody, 7 degrees of somebody. Can somebody speak? Do you guys know 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon or something?
Yeah, I think it's Kevin Bacon.
It is. Okay. I was sweating a little on that thing. Okay. No different in your community. It's going to be 3 degrees of separation from that business. That's what you want to start creating. You want to joint promote yourself that's going to build not just you, but them and the connection in your community. Okay? So, how are you going to leverage? This is where it's important. This is where you want to capture the information. This is that call to action. This is the information that you want to grab from somebody, right? You are going to be one, you want to show credibility, but two, there's a great way to do that. So what I said to Amy was, oh, well, that's really easy. All you're going to do is anytime somebody comes in and brings in that card for the freebie or for the percentage off or whatever, they can write their name and email or their name and address for marketing material for senior discounts. Bingo. Bingo. Now, do you want to do it on social media? Because that's for people that are like, and don't want to look at people. I don't want to get on social media. I can't do that. There are people like that. That's cool. But if you're not, and you're like me, who's like, I'm out there, I'll go do it, then you're going to get on social media. Now, you are going to do a partner spotlight. You're going to tag the business. I told you it's algorithm. I told you when you tag them, it goes out to all their followers and those people's followers. So it trickles and then it becomes a community thing because people see it's a community restaurant or a community person that's promoting it. And it's tag teamed in that post. You want to try to capture emails. You do. Or some information. You need that CTA, a call to action. If you don't know what CTA is, call to action, meaning grab their information, I take it, and I'm going to do something with it. Don't sit on it and be lazy. Go and do something with that information. If you're walking in the neighborhood and you're like, oh yeah, I know that person lives there, and you just go, hey, Mrs. Jones, hey, Brooks Freeland, how you doing, buddy? He'd be like, dude, she knows my name. Oh yeah, 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 you were at the restaurant the other night. Whatever. Again, Kevin Bacon experience here, right? It is all about the connections that you're making. Email lists. Give him resources and your newsletters. It's gonna land right into their inbox because you already gave them something for free. This checklist, whatever else, and you're gonna keep giving them free stuff. And they're like, oh, I like it. They're not selling to me. Oh, I'm gonna need that list at some point. It's gonna stick in the back of their mind, and they're not gonna use it now. But I promise you, they will use it when it's needed, and you'll just be right there when it happens. So, why are you going to build strong relationships? It's not about asking. It's going to be about earning their long-term trust. And if they know that you're connected with the restaurant or a this or a that, they're more likely to do business because they know that you're connected. And if you're shitty, they're going to go to that person and they're going to be the first person that they're going to complain to. And no one's going to want to do business with you. Could go either way. This is a cancel culture right now. So pick and choose the way you do business. That's on you. And then how you handle yourself. That's a big thing. All right. So I'm going to go into cross promotion and very specific branded stuff. But that's why you want to attend chamber events, Rotary lunches, senior resource fairs. Start if you guys haven't looked into senior resource fairs, accessibility fairs. Those types of things are places where you will find most of your clientele. Seriously. Just go look and see. And most of your sphere of influence is there. Because if they're at resource fairs, they're the people that are also getting involved in your community as well. So you want to keep it very personal when it comes to building strong relationships with your peeps. You know, remember we talk about sandwich shop. I don't know if you guys can see this, but we talk about what's your specialty and you guys are aging specialists. We talk about the bread. That's your base. That's why you're building that strong relationship. All of this is the pieces to your sandwich shop. So people know that you're open for business as a sandwich shop in aging. Then choose your filling. How are you going to show up in one of these local networks? How are you going to show up with value? How are you going to start leading stuff? How are you going to give people stuff? How are you showing up with your hand up and not out? How are you showing it personally? And then the next one is your secret sauce. Well, I'll tell you because every time you show up somewhere and you're like, oh, I know somebody with that, there you go. I'm telling you, I feel like a matchmaker. And because the matchmaking, people feel indebted to me, which explains why it's always worked in my life, if that makes sense to you guys. Because my life has always been, my whole, I guess I was raised this way from a very young age. So I don't know any different. But when it comes down to the like bottom of it, your secret sauce is you and what you have to offer people and your connection with people. That's what life's about, right? Our marriages, our relationships, our friendships, I don't care, but that's the way business is. And I think for far too long, we haven't done business like that. We've decided to go with corporate America or to like go with that corporate side of things, maybe, or whatever it is, and just go with the flow rather than really building the relationships that make or break you wanting to do business with somebody. Does that make sense to you guys? As old school people, that's how I feel. But I'd love to hear how you guys feel before I get into the rest. I mean, I want to know, do you feel like partnerships? Doesn't matter. Love, community, like Do you think it's a one done deal, or do you actually value it and lead with helping and wanting to connect with somebody that resonates with the same thing you do?
Um, I feel like there's some clients I have a I feel like I have a strong partnership with, but also I have a lot of clients that don't have any loyalty to anybody. It's just
Hmm.
like whoever shows up in their feed first, it's like,
Yeah. And by the way, those you just have to skip. Just have to you just have to give them the paperwork and show up that way, but not your physical hours. Does that make sense?
yeah.
You could keep showing up by the emails, by by putting stuff in putting stuff in their mailbox or
Hmm.
seeing on social media, but not physically call like at every single whim. They have the information. Oh yeah, here you go. Oh yeah, here you go. It's not your job to put band-aids on things. It's your job just to hand them a piece of information and walk away. You need something, here you go. Oh, there you go. Here's my newsletter. It has the information. No problem. Oh, you want to know? These are the three attorneys. Maybe somebody wants to know about a trust and they're asking you about, should my house be in a trust? Should it not be? Let's just take that example. What
Yeah.
you could say is, here's the three attorneys I work with. Just call them. They'll be happy to answer that question. That took you no time at all, other than you maybe sending an email, following up like, here's the attorneys. Did you contact them? That's it.
Hmm.
Because it kind of is like, so there's this and I've taught my kids this at a young age. So please forgive me if you guys don't see this way, but I call it an FU sandwich. An FU sandwich is where you state a fact, you're like, and then you come in with, like not state of fact. I'm sorry, you say, thank you so much for, contact me because you know that they're only wasting your time, right? State the fact of like, thanks so much, so appreciative that you thought of me. And then the F you like, here's the three guys that you can contact. Whoops, I have newsletters that can help you. I was very, as you can see, passionate about this. I have newsletters that can help you. Thanks so much. Great talking to you. That way you're not stuck. Let me go get my glasses so I can see you guys. Um, you're not stuck constantly feeling like you've got to answer things because that's not your job. And you can spend all day long doing that, hours. Forget it. Don't bother. Don't bother. Just give them the information, leave. That's your job. Forwarding the information. So, when I say keep it personal, pop in with coffee, support their events. If there is people like an assisted living community that's putting on an event, if there is a home healthcare company, a trust attorney, go be there, go see them, go cheer them on. If they've got something on LinkedIn, go great. I'm so proud of you. It goes a long way. Being thankful goes a long way. You are not just marketing yourself, you are becoming part of an complete ecosystem. You're the sandwich shop. You are embedded into your shop. All right. This is where we're looking. So we know, oops. All right, let's talk about who we're going to partner with, okay? And people that we're already serving. I always say, like, know, and trust. The people that you're looking for are already people that you're already with, that you already know. It doesn't matter if it's restaurants. And by the way, it has to be people that you regularly visit or that you talk about or that you already feel loyalty to. Maybe it's one of your kids or your friends' restaurants or your friends' businesses. It could be a flower shop. It doesn't matter. You would be surprised at how many people are like, oh, they've got discounts for seniors. I'd love to buy myself flowers, some local, whatever it is. You're still getting stuff out there, but think of the categories: breakfast diners, local cafes, family owned lunch spots, coffee shops. Think about the times in which people would want to eat and then find if there's some type of a deal that you can do with people. You want to be able to do maybe a flyer, maybe on their menu. Like how there's some menus that actually have businesses that will have a part on their menu. You can do a punch card. You could do lunch and learns where you invite a bunch of people in the industry to talk about marketing or talk about, hey, why don't we all do this? And maybe you have a Facebook group. I don't know. There's a lot of ways that you can go about this. Nextdoor.com. I mean, I could keep going on, but the point is that these lunch and learns allow you all to get together as business to business marketing event, putting together a lunch and learn marketing event, or other way around, bringing seniors in and doing a panel at a local restaurant for lunch. How great would that be? All right. Oh, hold on. All right. Let's talk about that. Who are going to be some of those people? Besides I was showing you the restaurants, health and wellness pros. You've got physical PT, OT, all of that. Seniors go into those types of things. Dentists, um, yoga, Pilates, things of that will promote longevity. Okay, that word is big. Think about that word. You could how about a massage therapist? Maybe a massage therapist wants to do some type of a special because they know they have a lull in part of their day. And they're going to help with arthritis and with blood flow. I mean, how great would that be to promote something on the back of a flyer? And they'll hold on to it for when they need it because they're like, oh, I get a discount with this person if I go there to get a massage. Oh, I have arthritis. I didn't know they could help me with that. So the biggest things that there are for seniors that I have found is health, because we all want to know about our health. And it's not just seniors, it's every one of us on this call. Health is the biggest thing. Then you got checklists. Everybody wants a checklist because they're like, oh, am I doing it right? Let me see. Seriously, our AARP checklist is huge. I'll find it for you after. I might even have it in a PDF and I could drop it in there after. But anyway, so the point of this is these checklists are things that most of us look for just to make sure we're doing things before we actually talk to somebody about it. Most of us don't want to talk about it, but we're willing to download a checklist or look over a checklist and go, oh, I got that. I got that. Ooh, I don't have that. Freebies, because who doesn't like a freebie? Seriously, who doesn't like a freebie? So now you got freebies to go into there. Referral packs. Remember the punch cards I was talking about, or referring people to people, and then you can get referral fees. There's ways to go about it. How about entertainment? What if you actually put together some type of a little senior outing entertainment package for your area with a theater and a lunch spot, and then you got a bus or a van to go around and do something, or you hosted something for your senior community on something like that? Or you had an art gallery or museum that was giving away tickets for seniors. I know in the state of Florida, I should say, I know for the Marlins, and I've done it the last 2 years, I have worked with AARP and the Marlins for Senior Day. It's great. I don't know many baseball parks that put together a Senior Day where seniors come for free with a caregiver. Like and they have buses that bring them in from all over. So there are things that are in your community. You just have to get involved or you have to know about it and then put it on the flyers that you guys have. I want you guys to start looking for event sponsorships where you can co-sponsorship with people so you don't have the brunt of the finances of it. There's too many people out there that could use that co-branding, but they don't want to spend the money on it, but they want to do the same thing you do, but you've got the brains to do it. If that's the case, put it together and make them offset it by making them pay a little bit extra. You put it together, there's no reason why you shouldn't. But it's getting it paid so you don't have to pay for it all, like the entire brunt of it, right? Think about that. All right, who's some other people? Boutiques, because who doesn't like a little boutique? Or personal services, hairdressers. Think about that. Think about it. Dry cleaners, tailors, but like hairdressers and barbers, that's a big thing because during the day, maybe hairdressers have a big lull. But if there's a senior community right by there and they don't have something on site, it's very easy. Or a 55 community, psh, that's golden right there. Right there. Really. So you could do a receipt-based promo. I mean, these are just little collaborative things on the season. But the bottom line, and your tip is what I want you to do is you're not trying to outshine these businesses. You're trying to align with them that you and them are going to serve the seniors better and you're going to show up. You're just, remember, you're the secret sauce. You're the third point of this. You're all the secret sauce. Okay. Aha. All right. What are you going to create? So if you are going to do joint promotions, there's so many ways you guys can go about this. You can do a card like I was talking about. When somebody brings in that card for their coffee or their dessert or whatever it is, make sure that they fill out one part of the card in order to get that. Could be an email address. It could be name, email, phone, whatever it is. Just letting you know, you could have a checklist on one side with you. Hey, interested in getting any of this information? And it could be a free checklist, a free downsizing, a free this, a free that. And then it could be that 10% down. But what if, and then they walked in the restaurant and they're like, boom, here you go. I get my free coffee, my free whatever. And they're like, oh yeah, do you want a checklist or something? Just put your email. They're going to email you. There you go. There's your discount. You can go to a florist, just bring in the card to get a free flower. We don't just go in to get a free flower, we go in to get a bouquet. Right? Don't you typically do that? How about doing a passport program? Because that would be fun. Or like a treasure type hunt. My daughter called this. I thought about this last night at 3 a.m. when I woke up. I don't know if any of you wake up at 3 a.m., but if you do, contact me. I'll talk to you. But at 3 a.m. this morning, I was thinking about this. My daughter said, oh my gosh, mom, they have and she had to wear a lanyard with a card on it, and the card had 15 restaurants. The 15 restaurants that were on it were walkable from one end to another. She just moved to this area. It was $45 per person, and they had to stop at every restaurant to get something. It could be a cocktail. It could be an hors d'oeuvre. It's just something it could be a dessert, whatever it is. But they walked the whole thing. Now think about just doing that. And that's what made me think, by the way, of this. Imagine doing something that's like a passport program or one of those things where you can go to certain businesses and punch them off of a card. Like do you support this restaurant, this restaurant, this restaurant? They're all delis or whatever it is. and they get stamps, and then in return, you get them a little gift card. It shows like all of a sudden, like, somebody's giving away something. Oh my God, I'm going to go to these restaurants just so I can get the gift card. We all want a gift card. And we'll do things to get that gift card, even if it means just walking into the business to get a stamp, but we'll get it. There's a lot of us that are there for the thrill and the joy of when somebody dangles something over us and they're like, hey, you could win this if you go do this, that, and you jump through all these hoops. You don't have to maybe buy something. Maybe you already do. Maybe you frequent that restaurant, but all that restaurant has to do is put a stamp on it that they go to that restaurant. By the time they hit 5 of your favorite restaurants, you could say, hey, hit 5 of my favorite restaurants, on their senior discount days and get a free gift card, $20 gift card to Amazon or whatever it is. Or you could do a free slice. But the whole point is when you capture their information, you need to tie it in with something. You need to call to action something from any one of these. You can't just market and stop there. You need their information so you can keep marketing to them, so you can keep in front of them, because your job to them is your sandwich shop. Your doors are open when they're ready to sell the house. You've got them. Oh, you need an assisted living community? I got you there. No problem. That is your job of cross marketing. But as we know, the psychology of marketing with Dr. Cialdini, I always mispronounce whatever it is, says that people feel indebted to doing business with you when you show up with nothing. And they need it, and they want it, and they take it from you without you even knowing. Think about that. Think about how many people in our community we see doing business all the time for free and showing up, or we think our perception is for free. However, behind the scenes, it's not. But think about how those community connections, because when I say for free, Hilaire, I don't mean to pick on you when I say this, but I don't mean putting time in and energy into constantly answering the same questions. I mean, the FU sandwich, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you contacted me and that you were thinking of me. Oh my gosh. Here's 3 people I suggest. Here's a video I've done, or here's information on that. Enjoy. Let me know if you've got any other questions. It's not your job to constantly help them through the fires of it. It's your job just to give them the information that they need to get through it. You've got one job. That job is to make the community connections and sell the house, because your community connections are going to have other people who are going to sell houses. So trust me, those people are going to do business with you anyways. But then come in with the other side of it, right? All right. I'm a huge lunch and learn person. And I mean lunch and learn on 2 folds. And I like breakfast and learn, by the way, but I mean it on 2 folds. And I say that because I've done events with seniors, and I have done events with people that are in the industry. And there is something to be said for both facets of it. I love it. There is so much to be learned on both sides of it. I tell you this because you should be doing both or involved with both. I don't mean like spearheading it. No, you got enough on your plate. I mean, getting involved. You can get involved by doing a raffle and sponsoring something, or helping an event and volunteering your time for the 3 hours. But here's the point about lunch and learns. It allows you to learn in a community, whether it be a senior living community, whether it be in a restaurant, it doesn't matter, wherever. Maybe it's in like a great little like shop that's doing coffee, and you do a book, or somebody that does a book signing on downsizing. Maybe it is a little boutique that you love and you're holding a cocktail hour. The point of this is that being able to learn something when you walk into somewhere is a great community connection because it's free. I want to go learn about this. Oh, I want to go meet somebody because I got questions about this. Oh, I love that shop. I get percentage off and I get to ask people about topics on this. So think about making those types of community connections. It's not just a lunch and learn. You're learning, like maybe you're targeting the senior homeowner, or maybe you're targeting your sphere of influence. But the point is, if you're doing it, your sphere of influence, you're putting maybe people together to talk about, hey, how can we make the community better for our senior demographics? Or maybe if you're flipping the script and you're dealing with seniors, you're bringing in a panel. Or maybe you're sitting at a boutique and you want to do a cocktail hour and you're bringing in people to buy clothing, and you have a person in there that's like a designer or something or whatever it is, and they get a percentage off, and everybody knows that boutique. Or maybe it's a coffee shop or a bookstore, and you bring in an author who deals with seniors that are local. Like, it's great because it pulls people in, and you're the person that's hosting it. You're the person that's putting it together. And hey, by the way, thank you so much for coming. My name is yada yada. I'm an aging specialist. We're so glad to have you. Come on in. You didn't sell yourself. Don't sell yourself. I tell you guys that every time. All right. The few ways that you guys can get involved between the event is you can co-sponsor, you can get involved. Again, I talked about small boutique. You can partner, raffle something, a gift card, whatever it is, and then have these things on the side with your information, and then a restaurant thing. Anytime you go somewhere, make sure you give freebies like this away. Freebie on what, like about you. You can have a QR code and someone can just scan the QR code. But the point is that you need to capture their information in some way, shape, or form. And when they take something of value, they will give you something of value according to the psychological way of Chaldani. And I wholeheartedly agree because I've shown up that way, and that's the way that I do it. All right. Last but not least, you need to take photos. You've got to document what you do, how you do it, and how much fun you're having doing it. Because it's tagging those people, it's showing how you show up, it's being the sandwich shop with the doors open. Look at all these people I have. I got you. Don't worry if something happens. I'm not going to know how to help you, but I know all the people that can help you. And that's hilarious. That's where it churns between the two. When you look at it, you can show up with just knowing all the right people, or you can show up trying to solve all the problems, and that's not your job. It's your job to switch and flip that script and say, I'm going to show up and give you all the right people, but it's not my job to solve it for you. By the way, when I say that with the biggest hug, because you can only lead a horse to water, but you cannot make them drink. You can't. We all know that saying. We've heard it from when we were kids. I'd love to hear other sayings that you guys heard when you were kids, but it's true. It doesn't matter who you are, how old you are, or what you're doing in life, but you can only you can only try to show them it's their job to either see it or not see it. It's every religion is that way. Doesn't matter what religion you are, but That's just how we look at things. And so you can only help somebody so much, but it's your job to give them the right people and tools. It's not your job to fix it. And, and I think a lot of people go wrong with trying to fix it and think, otherwise, but it's not. It really, it's, it's our job to listen to what the problem is and go, oh, here's the tools for you to fix it, not me to fix it for you. Does that make sense? Guys? Yeah. Did I go off or do you guys understand? Yeah, no, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so guess what? We're done. So yeah, I am a whole heart. This is how I've shown up, and every time I teach you guys and I talk to you guys, I love it because I'm constantly um showing you the way that I am and how things are when it comes to like this sector. And when I say this sector, I'm part of this sector. Every one of you is part of this sector. It doesn't matter if you're on the buying or selling end of it or your parents are. The point is that we're all involved in this. And if you're looking at the stats on NAR, yeah, I mean, biggest buyers and sellers over 65, 62 actually. I mean, really, how are you showing up to serve that demographics? Because nobody wants you just to be slimy anymore. None of us. I don't want to do business with somebody like that. And I know most of us don't, and I know most of the people that I've ever worked with don't. They want to know people, but they're afraid. I talked to a woman this past week. I went through the same thing. She's like, she just doesn't trust anybody. I said, let's go out for lunch. Her son called me. Her son called me and said, my mom needs services. I don't know what to do. And I said, because remind you, I am not, as much as I love real estate, I'm on the backside of things. I'm all about the community connections and making money in a different venue and investments. But here's what I'm going to tell you. It's worked for me for the last 15 years. And I mean, it's been amazing. It's been an amazing ride. And I still like showing up for my clients. And I still don't mind selling homes when people are like, could you just do it for me? Sure. I've got a team that'll do it for you. I cannot be there all the time. I know that. But the point of this is that when you have a connection with somebody, they only want to work with you. That's called trust. That's called liking you. That's called knowing who you are. So their son, who's a doctor, very good friend of mine, said, I need you to go talk to my mom. I said, okay, but here's what I'm going to tell you guys. In my career, kids have a different idea of what their parents want versus what the parents really need. So you are the outsider to bring in the services for them. Don't get sucked up into it. And what I said to him was, and this is what makes me like, what I see on the outside is, what services do you think she needs? Well, the biggest question is, why do you think she shouldn't be there anymore? Because I want to see if I want to know if what you see, and he's a doctor, but I want to know if I see the same thing as you, because when you get into a child, I don't care if you're 85, 75, 65, 50, I don't care how old you are as a child. In their eyes, you are always a child. They will listen to somebody outside of this. No problem. They will listen to anybody else but their children. I don't mean all the time, but that's pretty much the case. But the point of this is that you're an outsider. You're the sandwich shop. I don't know if you guys can see this. Oh, you can't. Okay, hold on. You are the sandwich shop, right? What's your specialty? I know it's backwards. You're the bread. Got it? It's your job as an aging specialist to choose those fillings for them. It's not your job to be the filling. It's your job to choose the fillings. Oh, you need that? I got Peeps. Oh, you need that? No problem. And then smother it with secret sauce so you sell it. And that's what you have to offer. But I think that's how I feel. That's how I've shown it. It's worked for me. Oh, Deborah, you never gave the love. But it's worked for me. And I feel like when you hit this demographics, I know for a fact because I've done, I, I can't tell you how many fraud and scams for ARP speaking engagements I've done. I mean, way too many to count. And I'm going to tell you, I would say maybe there's maybe 4 or 5 in the 4 years that I've been speaking for AARP on fraud and scams. There's maybe 4 or 5 talks that I've done that somebody has never, like the whole room has not said anything that they've been scammed. That's pretty sad. That's pretty sad. And my heart breaks because the amount of conversations that people open up to me, they won't open up to their children, but they'll open up to a third party that they like, know, and trust. And if you are educating them on the disaster of a fraud and scam, how horrible it could be, here's a checklist for you. You've saved somebody. I don't know who, but you did. And you're not going to know who, but you may eventually figure it out. And the point of that is that it started to get to the point where, so I, so I filmed a man that, and I love him, love him. I filmed him. He's blind. He's 65 and he was relying on family. One of the family members took him for a lot of money. And I met him at one of our blind association meetings, and I adore him. And the point of this conversation was I had no idea he was being scammed. He told me I was kicked out of my apartment that I thought I was living in because my bills weren't being paid. Things were going missing, stuff was going missing. And I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Miss Heather, I don't know. I can't see." I said, "Do you mind if I record this?" Bottom line is, we now have what's called SALT, Seniors and Law Enforcement Together. SALT. Broward County has it. Palm Beach County's getting it. Miami-Dade's going for it. And it is where when I go to do my speaking events on frauds and scams, and I'm like, it's big. Hold on. Like, I can tell you the amount of information, it is ridiculous, but they don't know what to look for. And by the way, most of you guys don't either. It takes one click. That's it. And do you know the average scam is $21,000 and 1 in 4. I think it's actually 1 in 3 now. But the most targeted are 65 and over because they're the easiest to target and they call them the weakest to target and the most, not just most vulnerable, but they've got the most to lose. Oh, here comes Eric. But they've got the most to lose. And that's what it comes down to. So imagine that. Imagine being able to show up and then tell people like, "Hey, no problem. I got help for you." And these are people that you can trust. You've just cut out the middleman that's going to, with fraud and scams. It is a 28.3 billion with a B every year. Yeah, $28.3 billion industry yearly. Just 65 and over. And the worst part is it's mostly like family or people that you know. Sucks. So, Hilaire, if that's the case, you need to start doing more scams and fraud, or if anybody start doing scams and fraud, start getting involved with your community and doing things because how about that checklist that I was just talking about? What if you did a checklist and you're like scams and fraud? Are you in scams and fraud? Are you this? And then the freebie on the backside. Eric, we're almost done here, buddy, but I am very glad that you came in.
Yeah,
Um,
we had a death in the family, and I'm trying to get everybody poised and get them ready to leave in the morning. So,
oh my
and I'm
gosh,
a
I am
little
so
late. So sorry
sorry.
for that, but
Okay.
you
Well,
get to see the replay.
Eric, yes, but Eric, I am going to have one of the girls drop in the PDF from that I just did. So for all of you that, oh, thank you, Rochelle. For all of you guys that are just, that didn't hear the first spiel that I was giving at the beginning of our little session here, is my good friend, guess who? Michael Rivera is going to be with us next week. I'm very, very excited. Um, I'm just going to give you a quick little breeze on who Michael Rivera is. They call him, he has a marketing firm called the Cowboy Marketing Genius. He's phenomenal. But basically, he's worked in the assisted living community industry for many years. And he now started his own business where he is leading senior living communities through their expansions and everything else. So he's going to talk to us about the lingo, how to connect, how to work with assisted living communities, how to market with assisted living communities, how to directly communicate and engage and deal with the assisted living communities, and then break it down for us. And he's a powerhouse in the industry, and I want you there because the very first thing I said at the beginning of tonight was, girls, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let Rochelle tell you what I said about you. Here, Rochelle, what I said. Wait, it's funny. Oh, wait, Brooks, somebody that was on could tell you. You're on mute. We can't hear.
I was actually reading about salt when you said that, so I'm
Oh, okay. Okay.
sorry.
No, so I said at the beginning of today, I said something about Eric. Do you remember what I said about Eric?
Said you couldn't remember his name.
No, oh my God. I
Oh
was like,
no.
wait, what was it, Eric? Because I was like but I blinked on a lot today. By the way,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
you. It was a lot today. I blinked on a lot.
Yeah.
And then I said right after that, I said, oh, he's gonna bring in questions and I can't wait.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was
So
all
he
about the
he needs to be
questions.
here next week for the
I said, Hilaire and you need to be here next week because it's so important for you guys to ask questions to Michael Rivera. For those of you that want to know what I'm talking about, CRM, the assisted living CRM that we have or that we're being asked or that we're being given or whatever it is with corporate.
and
I
you're still recording.
Yes, yes, yes. That's
Okay.
fine. I don't know anything about it. However, I also really need somebody to kind of like explain all of this, like everything about it on like a big make level. He is corporate level, and I wanted to bring in somebody corporate to explain, like, what is it that we're seeing? What's the information? How does it go? How do we connect with these people on a corporate level? So that's why I'm bringing him in.
What was
Okay.
Michael's company's name?
Cowboy
Cowboy?
something marketing guy. He's out of Texas. Just look up Michael Riviera, Texas, assisted living community, and you will see him. Can't miss him. He's an MBA, something, something. You're right. I could stop recording because we're already at the end, which I am. And